After making this huge 7-inch bluegill glide bait in the last video, I've had my fill of large baits for now. It is time to downsize, and I'm talking small. Very small. Very small. Single hook. Micro. I might have a better hook. One sec. I found it. An even smaller hook. We're going this small. We're gonna build a crankbait on this tiny, tiny hook. I don't even know what size hook this is, but this is not going to be easy. It's not easy to make lures this small that function, just so you all know. I will probably be having a hard time with this. But I want it to be a jerkbait, and I'm talking something with a lip. I know you European people, and probably some American people, think of a jerkbait as like the gliders. I think of them as gliders. Some people call them jerkbaits. I'm just talking about something this small with a lip. That's what I'm making. That might not look like much. And to be honest, that is not much, but that's what we're doing. This is the smallest lure I have ever made. Nothing has even come close to being this small. This is ridiculously small. You might as well just be using a jig head. Just a jig head. But we're not. This is tiny. Let's measure this. So this is exactly 1/2 inch. By the way, one day, 10:30. My finger was in some very uncomfortably close proximity to that blade, but we got this cut out. Isn't it adorable? I was thinking about having this video be a no power tools video too, but that's kind of like cheating. It'd be so easy to do this without any power tools. I need to do a complicated lure with no power tools, and that'd be way more interesting, you know? Because the rest of this lure is probably not going to involve power tools. Right now I'm just filing the profile to be a little bit smoother. So it's way too thick this way. We got to trim that down. I want it wide still, and it's going to have a nice taper. A teardrop shape is what it's going to be from when you look at it from the top. I've got one of these saws. It's a little balsa wood hobby saw. This works a lot better when you're cutting balsa wood like this because it takes tiny little bites and scrapes it away. This saw is about the same thickness as the diameter of this hook, so I'm gonna cut the hook slot in it now. Already, this is going extremely fast. I'm gonna put this tiny little thing in my vise. Okay, center this. This is not easy to center. I'm already off. I'm very off, okay. Okay, I'm on. Here we go. Hook slot, getting cut. Be careful, don't cut through. So there's that. Make sure this hook fits. I think I'm gonna have this bait to where the hook point is facing down, like a fly. Just like that. This is so small and very difficult to show on camera. Just like that though, beautiful. We already have the teardrop shape, just from those swipes on the sandpaper there. That's all the further I wanna go with tapering this. I wanna leave as much balsa wood as possible to keep this thing buoyant. But now, I lied. I'm going to be using another power tool, a Dremel, to make a hole in the belly, a very shallow and small hole that I'm gonna put one piece of bird shot in, and that's all the weight I'm gonna give this bait. There. It fits, and it's flush. Perfect. Now I'm gonna do some carving. I'm drawing tiny little chamfer lines on it. This is kind of ridiculous. At least it won't function just like a jig. It'll actually be a jerkbait, and it's super, super small. Maybe it'll catch a ton of fish, and it's like the answer to all ultralight fishing ever is this little thing. I'm sure I'll catch a lot of fish with it. Knock on wood. Is that how you use that saying? That I might have just done something really stupid there that didn't make any sense, but I'll knock on wood again, I don't care. You know what's important to have when you're doing something like this? A super sharp knife. And do you want a super sharp knife? Well, let me show you something. My new Work Sharp tool. It gets knives this sharp. Sorry if you thought that was gross, but Work Sharp. Now I have a bald spot. All you need to do to have Work Sharp is just go to my Amazon store and get one. Yes, this is a commercial for me and my Amazon store and making money and stuff. I do recommend the Kin Onion version of the Work Sharp with this attachment, because I thought in the past I could get a knife sharp. No. What I was doing was mere child's play compared to Work Sharp. And yeah, check out the Amazon store. It supports the channel, it helps me out. And let's get on with the bait making. Oh, I thought I lost it for a second, it's so small. It is smaller than like the wood chips and stuff on my bench, so you gotta be careful with this thing. Fail the one day because I lost it. I could just start another actually. I don't think this has taken me more than a half an hour to get to this point. 10:53. The link's in the description for my Amazon store too, by the way. Go check it out and buy something. Anything. You don't even have to buy what I recommend. You can just use that link and buy a bunch of stuff off of Amazon, and that helps me out. And by help out, I mean that gives me money. Beautiful. I probably didn't show any of that on frame, but here it is. The roughly carved micro jerk bait. Time for sanding. So for all of this, I'm just going to be using some 220 grit. I hold sandpaper like this for some reason, and I do this. Yet another valuable technique from a bait maker. So first I will be gluing, oh by the way, the sanding's all done. That is how smooth I was able to get it. Oh, I need to cut a lip out. This thing needs a lip. I'm just looking for like an appropriate cylindrical kind of thing to stencil a lip with. I think I found it. I'll use the head of this little brass nail. That'll be how big the lip is. Stencil it onto some Lexan. Gonna go cut that out. There is the smallest lip I have ever made, or cut out. It's not made yet. A little bit of sanding left to do. Filing. I'm filing, I'm not sanding. I don't have a ton of faith in this bait working well. It's just way harder to get stuff right with a tiny little bait like this. I don't know why these things don't cost like way more than a big bait, because it's so much more easier to get a big bait to work right. I just don't know. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. So if you look at the proportions, and the size of the body, and then you look at the size of that lip, that is just a monster lip. The smallest lip I've ever made is just a monster sized lip on this bait. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to cut that down a little bit. Like probably take a quarter of that length of that lip off. I'm gonna do that on a power tool right over here. So I lied twice. That went pretty smooth. You know, that's better. It still looks like it's big for this size of a bait, but it's better, and I'm gonna leave it. It's better to leave more lip on your bait and then get out to the water and bring a file with you and take it down than to not have enough lip and it doesn't work well because the lip's too short. So there we have the bait. With the lip installed in the correct angle and everything, I centered it. Does that look centered? That doesn't really look centered. It's a little off. Centered. That's more centered than Buddha. Is that even a joke? Now it's not glued in, but it's about to be, and trust me, this is an okay way of gluing in this kind of lip. Just put a drop of glue right there and it's in there. It ain't going no, oh, it's going on my finger. Okay, it ain't going nowhere. Put a drop of glue on the front here too. Bada bing, bada boom. That did the trick. You don't have to turn into a mechanical engineer and start like scuffing surfaces and prepping things and like getting all sophisticated with it. On a bait this small, those 2 drops of super thin super glue got all the way in there, covered every surface. It's good, or I'm just lazy. So now we're gonna put a piece of bird shot in that little hole we drilled out, just like so. For some reason it doesn't fit now, so I gotta drill out that hole a little deeper. That felt real sketchy. Poked myself pretty hard with that hook and it hurt. I'll make it, it's fine. So I can't get that piece of lead perfectly flush. You can see a little bit of it showing up when you hold it this way, you know, but I don't care. It's fine. I'm gonna start holding this thing with pliers because I'm gonna be using the super glue quite a bit. A little drop. Secure that in there. That was accelerator. That accelerator hardened it all really quick and kind of made a very even, nice layer over the seam of the hook slot. So I'm just gonna sand that down, fill in the hook slot in front of the lip there, and seal this thing. This is going very quickly. I hope this floats still. I need to test this after I seal the wood, or else this will be a countdown jerkbait, which is fine, right? But that's a thing, that's a kind of lure that exists, so that will just become what we're making, is a countdown jerkbait. All right, time to seal this whole thing. Gotta watch where you're dripping, because that super glue is gonna wanna go all over that lip and make it all you know, scuffed up and dried super gluey. I'm having a tough time talking today. But just like that, this bait is sealed. Amazing. Isn't it just amazing? Let's see if this bait floats or not. I'm nervous. Oh man. Oh, it floats. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at you. Wow. Look at it. How it comes back up slowly. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. This is gonna be the perfect ultralight bait, especially if it wobbles. When you push it forward like that, I can see like the resistance to wanting to go forward, which means it might wobble really well. Okay, I'm excited now. I am excited. I just kind of geeked out all over you guys, but that's just the way I feel right now. I'm really excited. So just gonna sand this smooth with some pretty fine grit sandpaper. Obviously we're not going for a super detailed paint scheme with this bait because it's only a 1/2 inch long. I mean, I'll do my best. I'll try to incorporate some detail onto the body of this bait. I'm sure you'll understand if it's not, you know, as detailed as some of my other stuff. Time to paint. Hopefully this lure is not too small and the fish can't even see it. I can't even get a piece of tape on this lip, it's so small. When you're working on super small lures, everything becomes just a giant challenge. You can barely see what you're doing. You have to be super accurate. Can't cut any corners. Literally, you can't even cut corners, they're too small. That was not easy to do. We're gonna start with white. I just had a really good idea of what to do to get some good detail on this bait. You'll see in a second. Just wanted you to know I just had a really good idea. So as you can see, I sprayed this bait in some silver and then I put some chartreuse on the belly. And now for my brilliant idea, I'm gonna use a comb like that. Maybe I'll come up from the bottom. Like that. There we go. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. Then I might get some scales over that. That'll look good. And for the scales, I'm actually gonna use a black, and it's like a transparent black called Detail Smoke Black. This bait does not need any help being brighter, so black scales against a bright paint scheme look pretty good. Yeah, you can't even see that, can you? It doesn't look so good. But I'm gonna do it on the other side, and we're going with that. Yeah, barely see that, but whatever. Maybe I'll do some white scales from the bottom. Never mind, I just remembered how badly those scales went, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. I'm gonna paint a black dot towards the head here and glue an eye to this bait. All right, now we just gotta squeeze this dead meat custom eye onto this bait. I think that's a good fit. Just kidding. It took me a long time to find, but I only have 2 eyes left that are the correct size, and even these are pretty big. Like that's gonna be a squeeze to get that on this bait, but we're going to. Okay, time to be careful. Why am I shaky? Probably the coffee. There. Clear coat. I'm just gonna submerge this entire hook back here in the hook point and everything. I'll break the clear coat off of it later. I just don't want to get clear coat on the lip, really. I totally got clear coat on the lip, but it's fine. Now I'm gonna put this in the UV tank pretty quickly. I wanna end up with a pretty thick clear coat on this thing. I'm brushing away some clear coat where the lip meets the body. I was thinking that might kind of keep the lip from doing its job if there's a big mound of clear coat right there. One more drip, and then I'm gonna put it in the tank. This stuff kind of flash cures as soon as it's exposed to the light, so. It is pretty much cured. I just need to leave it in that tank for another ½ hour or so and it'll be fully set, ready to fish with. Look at that tiny little fish catching nugget. Beautiful. Super difficult to show you guys, but beautiful. Need to break the clear coat around the line tie. It's an absolutely minuscule line tie. And I got some new line for this bait. Some 6 pound test Suffix. Advanced Super Line. I figured I'd need something really light to cast this bait a respectable distance. That stuff should do the trick. And I'll be using my ultralight setup. I kind of want to tie some line to this right now and test it in my little tank to see if it does have a wobble. We might be able to see the action right now. That'd be good. Oh shoot, it's a super slow sink now. And if I'm not mistaken, from the tiny little distance that I can pull this, I can see it wobbling. It's gonna be very hard to show you guys out on the water, but here. Did you guys see that? Watch close now. you guys see that? It has a wobble. It definitely has a wobble. That's very nice, actually. Okay, let's get out there. I want to catch a fish with this. So I just made the smallest little, like, countdown jerkbait ever. It sinks like 2 inches every second. I need to rig up my pole, and I'll be... Next time you see me, I'm going to be on the water, in the creek. Let's go. I am prepared for an all-day fishing extravaganza. I'm going to start right here and work my way down. This is the furthest upstream I've ever started on this creek, but I'm going for multiple species today. See how many species we can catch. I can't believe how good that works, that I got this small of a bait to actually crank. You guys probably cannot see that at all, but I can, and I'm amazed. Seriously, like, wow. Wow, guys, wow. Dang. All right, this is getting frustrating. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I am about to go home and get a trailer treble hook for this, because that really seems like the only thing that's gonna hook up these fish. Yep, that's it. That is the last fish I lost right there. I'm going home. We're going to get a trailer treble. We're gonna come right back here and I'll show you the difference. I'm adding this little treble hook to that, and then I'm gonna bend this hook down against the body. So essentially it's just going to have a treble hook. Okay, now we're gonna catch fish. We're gonna catch them all day. Every one of them. Mine. I do really like this spot. It's got a lot of different species in it. Species. It even runs better with the treble hook. Okay, are you guys seeing this? That tiny little bait has like perfect action. Like, I can feel that in the rod tip. Absolutely perfect. Why have I not caught a fish yet? Not caught. Oh! Look at that. That was a baby smallmouth. That counts. I touched it a little bit. Baby smallmouth, first species. It counts. No, guys, it counts. Be quiet. It counts. There's one. I think it was a creek chub. I don't think that one counts. I didn't get a good look at it. So that one doesn't count, but the baby smallmouth definitely counts. There we go. What do we got? Now it's really official. That actually makes it official. Creek chubs like micro jerk baits. We're probably going to get a lot of those today. Once again, got some incompetent people leaving an entire spool of fishing line in the creek. Now I have to throw this away because I'm a YouTuber and I have to do the right thing because everybody's watching. Thanks, guys. Yeah, they are not hitting hard today. They are just sniffing it. This is the best way to put it. Oh, I got a good one. No, it's better. I think it's a big creek chub too. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, that's a big creek chub. I think that's the biggest one I've gotten out of here. Sweet. Big creek chub. It's official. Boy, this looks like death. All this stuff came from the bridge up there. And I'm hoping nothing falls on me. There's something. We did it. We got a little green sunfish. Oop. Nice. You guys need a new battery. There. All better. Something. Got something. That's a tiny smallmouth, yeah. Tiny smallmouth, it's official. Like tiny jerk baits. It's official. There's one. Another chub. I have caught enough of your kind. Moving on. There's one. That's a really pretty chub. Or is that a mud shiner? Did I just catch a mud shiner and think it was a chub? It had the scale pattern, the really shiny scale pattern. Dang it, that might have been a mud shiner. I didn't make anything official. I can't believe this thing works just like a jerkbait, and like the lip makes it dive and it cranks really consistently. There's something. No, that's just a creek chub. That's what I caught before. These are just shiny creek chubs. Yeah. Moving on. There's one. Tiny green sunfish. Pretty fish. Pretty fish. Yeah, pretty fish. Did not expect to do rock climbing today, but here I am, climbing rocks. Okay, it's on to a different spot. Same creek. Oh, we're gonna catch him now. Oh, I see a northern hog sucker. Oh, that was a... what was that? There's something. Largemouth. There we go. Is that the 5th species today? Wow. It's funny, once in a while you'll see like a really confused smallmouth in the school of suckers just swimming with them, just wishing he had friends. Poor guy. There we go. That feels like a yeah, that's a sunfish, or a bluegill. There we go. Decent bluegill for this creek, for sure. Nice. I'm not making everything official today. We're just catching a bunch of small fish. It's more of a chill video, you know. Of course we were going to catch fish with this thing. Pretty much official that... It's pretty much official that all fish like this little tiny micro jerkbait, except bottom feeders. There's something. I think it's a largemouth. Oh, came off. Yeah, it was a largemouth. I can't decide a good drag to have my pole at with this bait. The size of the fish that I'm catching vary so much. There we go. What do we got? I'm gonna say bluegill sunfish hybrid thing. When you're not sure, that's what you say. Bluegill sunfish hybrid thing. Is that a bluegill? Or just a sunfish? Let me know. I think it's a bluegill. That's a bluegill. There we go. Ooh, we got a pumpkin seed. Is that what that is? See, there's like shell crackers and pumpkin seeds and a bunch of different stuff that I'm not super knowledgeable about, but I've never caught one of these in here before. Oop. Decent release. That's the 6th species, guys. If I've been counting correctly, I got 6 today. Let's keep it going. Let's catch some more different species. Okay, bluegill, green sunfish, smallmouth, largemouth. That one, let's call it pumpkin seed. What was my sixth? I can't remember. Let's just say I'm at 5 then. Oh, chub. 6. I caught chubs. How could I forget that? Yeah, chub, bluegill, green sunfish, shellcracker, smallmouth, largemouth. I am at 6. There's something. What is it? Feels like a green sunfish because they fight pretty hard. Bluegill hybrid thing. Am I right? I think I'm right. There's something. It's very dark. Yeah, there's a green sunfish. It's a very, very dark green sunfish. That thing's almost black. Weird. Like you can see him really well. It's got no camo. There's one. Wow. It's another pumpkin seed thing. Beautiful. I am sinking. There we go. Now I'm not sinking. Hey, there we go. What do we got? Wow, that's like the perfect cross between a smallmouth and a largemouth. Like I don't see any lateral line, but I think it's a largemouth. Its mouth's really big. So, weird. It's kind of like brown up there too. Oh, there it goes. Is there such thing as a smallmouth, largemouth hybrid? Is that real? Oh, got something. Weird. Now I'm catching a bunch of these. Oh no, that's like a... I don't know. They're all mutts. They're all a little bit of something, you know? Or maybe they're all a little bit of nothing. Getting nihilistic on you guys. I need to make one of these that dive deeper. Like I need to make this in a diver. That would be really good. Because they're all down there. I can see them. Here's a little size comparison for you guys. That's what we made today. This was the first one day that we ever did. So, and there's the bait that we made in the last video, the big bluegill glider. So yeah, this thing was tiny. That was a very, very small lure. Smallest little crankbait thing in the world? I don't know. But I'm gonna say it's the smallest crankbait ever. In an expressive way. I don't know if it actually, in a literal way, is the smallest crankbait ever in existence. Exactly a 1/2 inch long, a 1/4 inch tall, and a 1/4 inch wide are the dimensions of this little bait. We caught 7 different species. We had the potential to catch even more than that. There was more in that creek, of course. Like there's even walleye in that creek, and there's pike in that creek. I have to talk to you guys about something. We hit 200,000 subscribers a while ago, actually. We are at 207,000, almost 208 while I'm recording this. And I gotta tell you the truth, I have no idea what I'm gonna do for a 200,000 subscriber special. I had an idea, and then I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna do that because that's just too crazy. I was thinking about making a 200 piece lure. I bet by the time we're like somewhere around 300,000, 400, 500, whatever, I'll get like a 3D printer or something and make life a lot easier when it comes to making a 500 piece lure or something crazy like that. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do for 200,000 subscribers. I'm not gonna make a 200 piece lure. It would be a lot like making this 100 piece lure that I made in the past, just longer and more boring. That's what it would be like. I could do like a live stream. I've never live streamed before. I could do a live stream. How typical is that? I could do that though. You guys let me know. What should I do now that we are 200,000 subscribers strong? What should we do? I don't know. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Watch out for the camera. Come here. What are we gonna do? Sit. No, leave the can. No, jab, jab, jab. No. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Maybe we could just do a video that's like an hour long of just Chip. You guys want that? Let's just do that. Let me know. On to the next bait.